Okay.
All right. This week. We tried to die this week. Hey y'all. Happy Thursday. Welcome to another episode of Somebody Said TV. We were bumping that Hot Boy and did not realize that wasn't just the instrumental. But anyway, I'm your girl, Kathia Devon, one of your co-hosts here, moderator, girl mom, career coach. Yeah, Jena.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us again. I am Jena, also known as Overdressed RVA, creative director of Sire Her Collective. Impatiently waiting for my first drop of Jogger Sets, but that's another podcast. Boy, mom, wife, lover of all things music, style, fashion, influencer, hostess, and the woman with too many jobs.
All I can think of is all about the joggers.
Joggers.
I'm Corey Boone. I'm the political commentator of the show. And as I say every week, the views and opinions expressed in this show by the co-hosts are their own and not of our employers. That's pretty much it.
What up, y'all? I'm Shalena, aka Dr. Hurd. I'm a licensed psychologist by day. I'm the resident Philly Joan of the crew. I saw Nelson said squad up. What up, squad?
Hey. Also said that we glowing this week, but shout out to the Hercs. Shout out to Henry.
Yes.
Hey, Ryan. Hey, Makisha.
Shout out to my neighbors, the feasters. They're here. And they just had a baby, so congratulations to them.
Congratulations. Come on, new life.
Some technical difficulties. Everybody is a little choppy, and Corey looks like this.
Oh.
So I'll be right back.
No problem.
All right.
I'm so sorry.
Well, shout out to Nelson for his service. He said today is the 128th birthday.
Yes. What up, Craig? Let's see you in the building.
Amy J, we see you.
Hey,
yes,
Mandy.
to you too. All right, friends. Well, today we got a little bit of a political check-in, and we have an early Battle of the Browns. And y'all know the Battle of the Browns comes early. It's some things going on. We're going to talk a little bit about some of this relationship things, give you an Are You That Somebody? And as always, if somebody loves you with a special feature from the Corey Boone. But go on, Corey, and get us started with your political check-in.
The hype up is hilarious. Hey, Teresa, by the way. So this week there was a lot of news coming out of Washington. I'll briefly share that there is a congressman in Florida who is being investigated by the Justice Department as possibly participating in trafficking. The congressman's name is Matt Gaetz, and he is a staunch Republican, staunch Trump supporter. And the fact that he has a national profile is because of his antics. So with that said, it has been the news that has broke Washington, and everybody's been trying to figure out what's going on with that. Of course, there are many conversations going on about the witnesses that have taken the stand in the George Floyd case, and of course, we'll continue to monitor that as well. But yeah, it's one of these things where I'm just trying to figure out, like, it's been kind of quiet. And every now and then, since the Trump era, it's been kind of quiet. And so every now and then I'm just like waiting to see like what the big news is. Obviously, Congress is still trying to figure out how they can pass the Voter Rights Act. And that's critically important, especially as we see voter suppression happening in Georgia. So lots of things going up on that front. But I really want to talk about these vaccines. I got my first dose a couple of weeks ago, and I'm really excited about it. I wanted to check in with the crew, with the co-host, to see who has also gotten their first or second dose. I think, Shalena, you're done, right?
You know, I'm out here. I've been out here. Listen, and I didn't got tested for COVID post-vaccine. I'm still wearing my mask. I'm still washing my hands. I'm still keeping my distance. But your girl's moving in these streets and she's vaccinated and she's feeling great. Co-host, what's up? Who else is vaccinated?
Who else?
I'm not.
Oh no! And I think our producer is muted. What is going on today?
No, that was me. Sorry, guys. But anyway, I was saying the killers. We got our first shot, second shot coming up soon. Feeling good, feeling great, ready to be out here with Lily in these streets.
So I understand the big news with that is basically the first people who were able to take the vaccine actually are showing that the vaccine has a 6-month immunity so far. So are still continuing to monitor, but at least for the very much we know right now, 6 months of immunity is really, really good. And they're hoping, and I'm certainly hoping for a year. I need to catch these comments, by the way.
Arm, I'm done.
Everybody shouting out their first dose.
I know a couple of people who did the Johnson & Johnson one, and they one and done.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know two people. A guy that I work with, he's a very active, busy guy in the community. He got his one and done, and a friend of mine said, "Does she schedule for Monday for her Johnson & Johnson?"
Let's do it.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you brought up Johnson & Johnson because I think people have been making some jokes about the vaccine. It actually is effective, and it actually will help you to not have to suffer through the worst if you do catch coronavirus. So, of course, like Shalena said, please still continue to be safe, wear your mask, stay socially distanced as we all try to get on the same page with the vaccine. And there is a lot of different rules and suggestions as to what you can and cannot do having take the vaccine. But basically, do what you've been doing, continue to be safe, but you can have some assurance that if something were to happen and you get exposed to coronavirus, you will not be in the hospital. You will not suffer anything egregious. There may be some illnesses, but nothing like hospital or death. So the vaccine is greatly important. All 3 versions are good, and they continue to monitor and see how long immunity can last. So it's been some good news so far.
For sure.
Do we know anything about the baby?
About the baby taking vaccines.
Yeah.
So they have started trials, and the earliest I hear that one will be available is supposed to be early 2022.
Oh,
Okay.
So we have to keep a watch on that, but both Moderna and Pfizer have reported they're starting clinical trials.
So we shall see.
Somebody said Johnson & Johnson messed up 15 million doses in Baltimore. I didn't know there were 15 million people in Baltimore.
Well, we actually got our first dose in Baltimore. Yeah.
Oh,
and,
so you had to, that makes sense.
Yeah. So with Maryland, you can go anywhere in this. Well, if you're eligible, you can go anywhere in the state.
Okay, that's good to know.
I did not hear about that mess up, but glad to see our folks are out here. We need more of our Black and brown folks getting this vaccine, seeing how it impacts us. So yeah, I'm glad to see a lot of people stepping out there, taking a chance, feeling good, feeling great.
Yeah, give me that feedback. I'm not convinced yet.
Okay, you can wait. We got you. We're gonna show.
Open.
We got Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson survivors of the vaccine.
I'm open to the education. I'm open to the experience, like hearing about people's experiences.
Yeah,
I have, my own family with their own beliefs, and old aunties and uncles, and
my mama is waiting as well. And I joked with somebody. I said it's crazy because my mom jumps at anything free, so I'm surprised she's not jumping at this vaccine. But she wants to wait a little longer, and that's okay.
What do you want? It's not real.
It helps that
not to what?
It helps knowing that a number of people close to me had already gotten a shot and being able to share these experiences. So thank y'all.
Yeah.
And if you're still on the fence and y'all want to know how I'm doing, check in.
Yeah.
Just for clarification, they did clarify, and our co-host did clarify that it is new doses at the factory for the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, that there was some mess up there. So it is not current doses that are out there currently being put in arms. It is the new doses that they've been creating in the factory in Baltimore. So thank you for that additional clarification. So yeah, it's things that we learn day by day, and hopefully things will start to get better as we see fit. But I want to just give us a short nod to those who are still skeptical about things or having issues. As we know, there are many, many examples of how healthcare, health system, whatever you want to call it, medicine, abused Black people for their own needs and wants at the time. So surely the fear and anxiety are certainly based in some actual things that have happened since 1,400 years ago. So actually not 1,400, 4,000 years ago, excuse me. So certainly, just hoping that people can continue to do their research and look out for folks and talk to folks who have taken the vaccine to check it out. So that's all we can ask.
Thank you for saying that, Corey Boone. And thank y'all for taking the initiative and taking the step to make everybody safer and better. I'm going to get there. Whether it's, isolating and whatever the case may be, or just go ahead and getting it. I'm going to get there. I'm going to do my part one way or the other.
It's okay. We're not judging you. We just ready to go outside.
I see judgy eyes.
No, I'm saying we're just ready to go outside. But I did want to say, while, we all getting vaxxed up, what y'all about to be wearing in these streets? Because I know y'all got fits on deck and been waiting to go out.
Oh, honey, I'm about to tag off this puppy today.
Let's get it. I need to do me some spring shopping. Y'all know I'm buying new sizes. I got my new fall wardrobe. I'm ready for the spring summer line, and I'm in the gym. I'm getting the muscles ready. I'm getting ready to the bingo wings so I can get the lists and stuff. So yeah, I don't need any suggestions. Send me links to any good websites, some looks you think would look good on me. Your girl is getting ready to be in these streets. You got to get the wardrobe ready.
Absolutely. You got to get the llama outfit.
Well, that brings me to our Battle of the Browns, as our ladies are looking to get summer fine. Today, we have up. All right. I hate when I feel like I got to explain who somebody is. With the blonde hair, we have Shateria. She is in the fashion industry. She has her own line. I feel like she may have gotten popular years ago. I feel like she was the first fine woman to date Rick Ross, but that's just my recollection.
To date him or to claim dating him?
Ooh.
Maybe I said what I said. And then red hair, we have Taraji, aka Cookie. And they both have on a white dress. This is a Fendi look, but I'll go ahead and let Jena give us the rundown.
Okay, I like this. This is a good time. I always like a good silhouette. I love a good cut. So these beautiful ladies, you said Shateria?
Yes.
Okay, so Shateria has opted. I'm feeling Shateria's atmosphere, and Cora always wants to know where these people are going. I feel like Shateria has landed. She has unpacked. She has taken a look at her location, and she's sitting. I love the red lip. Shateria has on this white Fendi dress. It looks like it's one of those dresses that Kathia always is like, I don't have a bra for that. And it's white. It has cutout back. This it's high neck. It's midi, so about knee length. It has a pocket. It's hard to tell because of these women. They're so beautifully shaped. It might be an A-line dress, but it might also be more of a fitted dress. Might be tailored in some way. Shateria has opted for a blonde bob, and Kathia mentioned the red hair, but I think this is fuchsia. Taraji is giving us wet and wavy with very natural, effortless makeup, which I can appreciate with such a punch with the hair. And Shateria is doing something similar, but a pop of color with the lip. I think overall, the effort, the idea behind this is a white dress, it's classic, it's beautiful. Let me jazz it up from the neck up. I love this. So yeah, this is a really nice Fendi look, and I don't think it would look good on anybody but women of color. So
I love black women.
My breakdown. You know, angelic.
All right, so overdress, who do you have?
Oh, this is a tough one. This is a really tough one. Because I have bad memories with bangs from personal experiences, I'm gonna go with Taraji on this one.
Just for the bang?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, all right.
I just was clarifying.
I mean, I think that they both look great. It's gonna be petty, whatever I choose, because it's going to be the most. It's gonna be the most insignificant thing because I think that they both look amazing. But I'm gonna go with Taraji.
Okay.
All right, Lily.
It's always Taraji for me. And someone mentioned in the comments the dress just, it seems to fit her better. And I don't know if it fits her better. It's just that she's standing so we can see the fit of the dress better. Whereas the other young woman is sitting, so it's bulging at the midsection. But yeah, I just, the face, the hair, it's Taraji, DC stand up. That's all I got.
These are both pretty local girls. But Corey Boone, to answer your question.
Yes.
So Taraji is on a magazine cover.
Okay.
And Shateria is doing a Ciroc ad.
Okay.
Ah,
okay.
see? Context helps.
There you go. I got you.
I love the whole mood of Kathia. Like, I love the palm trees, the stripes. Like, it is all working.
So who you got, Corey Boone?
Taraji.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, this is a wash.
Whitewash?
The co-hosts are all feeling Taraji. Somebody said they don't know who this other woman is.
This woman is.
She looks like
Masika.
You just could not let it die. You couldn't. Taraji.
That's Malaysia.
Malaysia. Oh, I keep looking at
You
the
still
name.
can't get it right. Dang. 14 whole days that went by.
Kathia, did you say who you got?
It'll come to me in like 45 minutes and I'm gonna say it out of nowhere for no reason.
I would say, they both look absolutely great. They do. And I really like the dress. But yeah, I was giving it to Taraji too. I think, sometimes the posing and the setup, it matters. And she has given body in that dress. It looks great on her.
That's amazing. They both look amazing.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Well, in other baddie news, y'all know we got to talk about what hit the streets this week.
So many.
But we're going to the Saweetie, aka Diamante and Quavo. Who done seen this elevator incident?
She said who?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's her name, Diamante.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I saw
I don't want another Malaysia incident. Okay, I got it.
Yes. So Saweetie and Quavo. I know by now everybody has seen the video. Every time these things happen, I'm always like, it amazes me what everybody sees. But anyway.
Yeah.
I saw the video, so co-hosts, y'all can chime in and let us know what you think. First things first, while we're all getting ready to go outside, I'm gonna tell y'all this: stay away from these elevators. If you are in conflict, if you are having a confrontation, don't get on no elevator. We do not want to see you on Instagram.
Yeah, I shouldn't be laughing, but I think I heard that Adrian, what is Adrian Broner, Adrian, whatever his name is, the guy who also got caught in the elevator, the football player, said that he didn't see anything wrong and that was love. And I'm just like, really? Like, wow. The definitions of love have been really interesting to me lately. But first of all, I hate people when they say that it's a low budget version of the Jay-Z Beyonce.
Who said that?
Right? I hate when people say that.
Yeah.
But secondly, the biggest question is, because you all know I have these kind of questions, what was in the bag? Like, what was it?
Somebody said it was a Call of Duty box. Like I don't know what that means. Somebody said it was a Call of Duty box. I don't know if it was a joke or if that's like some coveted video game version. I don't know, but somebody said I remember reading Call of Duty box.
No, it did say that, but when I looked at it, because I looked at it a few times. I knew we were going to talk about it today, and I was just trying to get everybody's perspective. To me, it actually looked like he actually took both bags. Now, why? What was in them? I don't know. Some people think that she was leaving, but first, I think I want some clarity on what everybody feels like they saw. So this is my version, okay? Because there's a lot of them out there. What I saw was Saweetie was in the front, and it looked like she was going towards the elevator, and then Quavo came, and that's when he grabbed the bag, and she kind of reached back, and he pulled, and then they pushed in the elevator. And all of that happened, and he went to the side. I mean, she went to the side, and people have a lot of different versions of what it was about and what happened there. And I think I want to say that if for certain people's versions, they're labeling Quavo as the aggressor, I think it's because he was the one who tried to take something from her.
Yeah.
So I'll just start with that part of it.
Yeah.
But you also had some people who were saying that Saweetie actually pushed at him or apparently people are trying to say
swung at him first or something.
Yeah, and so that contributed to everything. I think I get kind of lost because a lot happened in that minute and whatever amount of seconds video. The thing that sticks out to me are two incidents where he looked at the camera and how long Saweetie was on the floor without being helped. I mean, even to the point to where the door opened and she was still sitting on the ground. And so that sticks out to me. Like, why would you just let her stay on the ground? Like, was there not any thought to help her up? I was just really confused by that.
Yeah, it was. I think that part was the fact that she was still sitting there. But if I'm being honest with you, I think that she saw the camera there and she may have said something. And I feel like maybe she was trying to stay out of sight, to be honest. Because when he looked at it, it was later for me. It seemed like it was delayed and almost Saweetie refused to move from that certain area. And you couldn't really see her at all.
Dr. She's real aware. She got flung like that and noticed the camera over her head, like literally back here. Like she was super uber aware if that's what happened.
And correct me if I'm wrong, cameras in elevators are very obvious, right? Like they're not like the secret small ones.
They're very obvious, but I mean, assume there's a camera in the elevator.
Yeah, and the way she was off to the corner and seeing how Quavo was kind of late to looking up at it, it feels like there was some type of cue.
2 points of clarification. Adrian Broner is a boxer. I apologize. My sports knowledge is very limited.
That was an MMA fight.
APJ says Saweetie hit him, but he was very aggressive towards her, I'm assuming, and I'm sure if they stayed together after that, he got worse. And so actually, I'm so glad Amy brought that up because apparently this video happened in 2020 and then there is photos, videos, Snapchat, Instagram posts of them buying each other gifts for Valentine's Day this year. And so, other bloggers have asked the question, why are you all trying to present this life to us? And then, of course, slowly after Valentine's Day, they broke up. So what was the point? What was the reason for trying to showcase all this love and affection and gifts when months before, or, some point in 2020, y'all were fighting in the elevator?
That was probably the reason.
So a couple things to me. So
sorry, like a shopping spree.
Initially, it did not look like to me he was aggressing himself toward her, but they were fighting over this bag, box, whatever it was. And she kind of got flung out of the way because he was trying to fight her for this other thing. But then to Corey's point, once she's down on the ground, my thing is, even if you unintentionally hurt somebody that you care about and you love, there's almost like a shock of oh my goodness, I didn't mean to knock you down. And it was no reaction from him. she fell and she stayed there, and for whatever reason she stayed there. But I just didn't see a level of concern from him that made me feel like it was an accident or it was something that just happened for the first time.
I was just about to ask you that. I was just about to ask you, do we think that this has happened the first time with them? And do we think that this has happened the first time for Quavo?
I don't like to put those assumptions or speculations on people. This is a really serious thing because some people might look at that as like, you know, a normal relationship. And some people might look at that as like, ain't no way. Even if me and whoever are tussling over something, I'm still a girl. If I want it, just let it go. Like, don't jerk and do all this back and forth and fling me into something and think that we're going to be cool after that. Like, that's not happening. But for some people, that's normal. Like, that's,
I'm about to say,
and I'm not judging. Yeah, I'm not judging one way or the other. To your point, Shalena, to your point, Corey, the lack of regard and like it just looked like he was like, "Yo, get up, like stop being dramatic, get up." And then it was like the elevator opened, and then you put the same box in the way of the elevator, so the door stays open. And then when people start coming, then she gets up to limp out. And I mean, I don't know what the injury or whatever was. Then after the video was posted, Quavo posted a clip of, I guess, their new song. And I think he said something like, that ain't nothing but a little bit of straightening. And that to me was just like,
wait, I don't even know what that means.
Well, he said, like, it was a lyric before it, and it was like, that ain't nothing but a little, like, he was like, people act like I make a big deal out of it, but I'm checking you, kind of thing, is the way that the lyric read to me. And it hasn't been an apology, it hasn't been an explanation, which, I mean, is at the end of the day, what TMZ puts out doesn't make it our business, but, like, I don't know, it was just a lot of, you don't look that good, and you don't look like you treating her that good, and then you don't look like you respond that good, so it doesn't help the argument that you were wrong, even though I knew that from jump, but that's just how I feel. Like, nobody wants to be in a situation where they tussling back and forth with anybody and then get flung somewhere. Like, that's not okay.
But like you said earlier, I think it is normalized in a lot of relationships where this aggressive, we go back and forth, or when we yell, we in each other's face and we push it, and it's the norm, and we get over it and we move on. So I think that happens far too often. So, and
just because it's not physical doesn't mean you're not in an abusive relationship. Like you could be made to feel that helpless and in that way, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, whatever the case may be. So there's a lot to it. So that's why I said I don't want to speculate if this is his first time.
Know exactly what
their first incident, if he's done this before, like.
No, and Jena, so I'll read what King just said. Is we saw an edited version of an already condensed video with no audio. Everything surrounding the video is speculation. Thank you for reminding me of that. What we shouldn't do is extrapolate from this one video with no audio what may be the practices in their relationship. I will say there are some actions that are weird to me, but I agree with you. We should not take this one incident and try to project it out to say that there are so many others. I will say, though, that it was very weird to see how long Saweetie was on the ground and he didn't help her up. I thought that was just really weird and a sign of exactly like the quote that you said, Jena, somebody thinking that somebody was being dramatic. It's like, and not taking it as serious as maybe it looks to us. So I don't know. Not having been in a relationship, I don't know what would be deemed. I feel like couples do have their own way to speak to each other and deal with each other, but I think that they also have to define, or there has to be some ground level, foundational level type of understanding of what is too far, right? Like what is far for this couple, and on the outside looking in, that just seemed to be a little extra.
Well, and like this came out after they broke up, and the reason for breakup prior to this video coming out was that he cheated. So, I mean, if you didn't disrespect her once, you disrespected her twice. So there's that. I don't know. I guess there's levels of disrespect that you're willing to take, but I mean, we all have our thresholds. I don't know. But for that to not be the reason why they broke up, that might have been enough for somebody. That might have just been normalized, you know, for somebody else. And I don't know. It's a sad thing to see. It's sad to see two young people thinking that that's how a relationship is supposed to be. It's sad to see it publicized and see people's reactions, and people blurt things out and throw things out there, which I'm obviously doing right now. So I'm part of the problem. But yeah, I don't. It's not something that I wanted to watch twice.
Yeah, you know what is so interesting? I completely agree with Crit, and I don't want to make it I don't want to do an all men type of thing, but I'll say it this way. Patriarchy and misogyny are so strong in society to where you will have people looking at the same video and coming away with their own understanding and blame Saweetie for what happened. And I'm not going to use the term victim, but essentially she seemed to be the victim in the situation. Why are we trying to blame her for what happened? And exactly to Chris' point, it's like it is not only men doing this, but it's also a lot of women as well. And so how do you break down how this is happening in the same culture where we're trying to hear women talk about the T.I. and Tiny situation that they have been in, and then how so quickly people have denied them the right to kind of share what they're sharing without demonizing it. I feel like we're just in a very weird culture, right? We have cancel culture on one end, and basically I'm not believing shit anybody says on it.
There's no balance.
We got to get to some middle.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. And I think that that's my thing about the kind of the speculation piece or the different stories that are being told as people are looking at the video. Because when I watched this video, I don't like what happened. I think that it was an unfortunate situation. And at the same time, when I saw the video, I didn't think that either of them are just horrible people. You know, this wasn't like a Ray Rice elevator or Bow Wow, you know, kind of elevator thing. So it was hard to tell what was going on. But some of the things, like when you talk about misogyny, like I saw videos of people trying to slow-mo Saweetie's reaction, and I didn't see any of that for Quavo. Because I feel like when you slow these videos down, you can make it look, you know, how you can twist the narrative there. And if you literally slow down Quavo's actions in that video, it would look a lot more alarming than it did in real time. And so I think that that's a good point about the differences, because again, it was like men and women. It was the same thing before with the Kirk situation. Like, we're not talking about what we actually saw. It's this, well, what did you do to deserve this? Mm-hmm. And then there's all of these different conversations surrounding that.
Nothing. You don't do nothing to deserve for somebody to put their hands on you. Not a man putting a hand on a woman. Like, sorry, I smacked the hell out of somebody, but don't hit me back. If you would do.
Don't hit me back.
If I to a point that I'm putting hands on somebody, I expect to get him back. We fighting, and we got beef forever.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They didn't fight. They did not fight. So it was just kind of drawing all of these different conclusions. I don't think that was necessarily fair. But y'all know, literally before the rumors came out a couple of months ago about Quavo cheating or whatever, Saweetie and Quavo were like goals. I mean, maybe not to us, obviously.
That's right.
Yeah, not to us, but as far as like young adults, I mean, let's be clear. They're young, they're attractive, they're rich, they're popping, and they were together for a pretty long time. Like, for them to be in the industry or whatnot. And it just, when you think about them, and y'all know on the show we talked about Tyrese, and I know some of y'all are really into like Love and Marriage Huntsville and this Married at First Sight thing, where you have these people who are willing to marry a stranger. So
that's true.
That leaves me with a question for the room. Are relationships / marriage, are they worth the hype? And I'm going to start with Dr. Hurd, because Dr. Hurd is a young, fine, talented, popping woman.
Yes.
And she is single. So if anybody's interested, y'all can holler at us. We do
always do that.
We need a prince for the Princess of Frankfurt, please. Serious applicants.
We your own friends.
Don't waste our time.
I'm just saying, but I know that you are a single, and not all singles, but I know that you are single who is interested in marriage, and with everything happening around and all these different things that you're seeing with couples and people trying to get married. To you, our relationships, marriage, is it worth the hype, Dr. Heard? Let us know.
Like you said, I desire to be married. But man, some days I'll be this close to being for the streets. And it's because the streets look so fun. It just looks like no commitment, no ties, no marriage, just out there living you, doing you, being out there. So I don't know. Is it worth the hype? I mean, one, I would not base my fate and my future on other people's circumstances. Everybody is different. Every relationship is different. What works for one person may not work for the other. So I wouldn't let what's going on in society and what celebrities dictate how I feel about relationships. But I think people underestimate the work that is required to maintain marriages and relationships. And I think some of these fallouts we're seeing are because people got caught up in the hype and the vibes and the feels. And I'm guilty of it too, getting in a relationship because it felt good and we was vibing and not really knowing the person as well as I should. And I think that's why we see this fallout. And people, I think Ray mentioned in the comments, people can make really toxic relationships look glamorous and fun. Like, regardless of what's going on behind closed doors, they can look like goals to us. So I don't have an answer. I don't have a yes or a no. Are they worth the hype? I think every relationship is different. And I think it's all about the work you put into it. And I think you got to lay a solid foundation. So I will say, I will leave on this note. Shalena is still open to love and marriage. And I do think I want to see what the hype is all about. Now,
I like it.
It may change, but that's where I'm at today.
All right. So let's go on to our next fine single here because Corey, again, if you're interested, hit us up. We have a screening process. But Corey is he's always felt a way about marriage. And I don't think, not just from celebrity stuff, but different things he's seen growing up and just what's been happening. I'm going to ask you your opinion. Our relationships / marriage, is it worth the hype, Corey Boone? Is it?
I don't see the evidence why. Let me stop.
Where are the receipts?
Where are the receipts on this hype? No, I honestly will say this, right? So I personally am basically anti-marriage, but I'm anti-marriage for myself. Because I think knowing how I am and knowing some of the things that I look out for. So if you know me and love me very well, I can be very frugal with $1, or I watch where my dollars go. So to me, I feel like marriage is such a financial thing. It's such a financial step that you make with somebody else, taking on their debts, taking on some of their issues, and God forbid if there's a divorce involved, having to split some of those things up. So I always go to like the Oprah mindset, like we can be together forever. Like we can kick it for a long time. We could maybe possibly have on top of our separate bank accounts, we can have a merged joint account. But if something changes, I want you to understand, like we can split this thing up, keep moving, and call it a day. So I don't want to say that I'm anti-marriage for everybody else. Like, obviously, I just got the right to get married in 2015. So it's not like it's been something I've been waiting out for. But like Ray just said, it's the money for me.
Somebody said, wait, Corey.
It's where the money was at. It's where the money was at, Corey.
Listen, and I'm trying to keep all of mine. Yeah.
Oh, I'm laughing at the Herbs telling my niece Maddie to go log off.
I know.
She needs to know what she walking into.
No, listen, Maddie know why she about to get in trouble. But anyway, going to Mrs. Jena Bush. So if you're interested, respectfully, don't ask. But anyway, Jenna, how long you been married now?
Next month will be 14 years.
Woo.
Whew,
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
I got married very young. I met my husband when I was 17. We both lied to our parents about our age because he is 5 years older than me. So he was younger to them and I was older to his parents. Which obviously everybody learned very quickly that we were both two liars. But obviously I'm going to say that marriage is worth the hype, but I have a completely different path from probably every co-host that we have here because I got married so young. So I have a completely different perspective on marriage. My mom got married when she was 19. I was kind of behind the curve when it comes to like historically with my family, culturally with my family, you know, getting married. I think that it's as hard as you make it. It's as easy as you make it. But the thing for me is about respect. And if you respect your relationship, you respect people in relationships. Like marriage is something that like Corey said, like it's not for me, but he's not bashing or saying marriage isn't something that is worth it for anybody. And that's something that I can appreciate, having the respect for people who are married. And I have respect for people who choose to, you know, be comfortable without being in a relationship. Like when I say I got married at 22, I didn't have like a whole lot of like years to myself. I didn't travel a whole lot on my own, bunch of girls trips and having a whole lot of that experience. All of that was replaced with like life experience of marriage. And so I look at like my friends and stuff now and I'm like, oh, that's so cute. I remember when I did that with my husband. I remember when we went through that. I remember we bought our first house. I remember we got our second house. Like I remember when we almost broke up. I remember when we found out we were pregnant. Like I remember all of those things, and to see my people going through those things when I'm like already going through it. One, I did it by myself. Like I didn't have we're pregnant. Me and my best friend are pregnant at the same time. I'm a bridesmaid in her. She's a bridesmaid of mine, and we're a year apart. Like we didn't have like those types of social things. But all that to say, I chose to walk that path for myself. Like I chose to get married. Like I chose to say yes. I chose to you know, work on and build my marriage. My husband and I both did, and I don't have any regrets. Like I don't have any, but I also get like, it's not for everybody, and it's not for everybody the same time it was for me. And that's totally fine. Like I wouldn't take anything back. I wouldn't have waited and done it later. Like I'm totally fine with being married. And if for some reason I'm not married anymore, I'm pretty sure I'll be okay with that too.
Jena, knowing what you know now though, was it worth the hype?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was.
Good.
It's a good time.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time. Overall, it's a good time. I'm very grateful, and I feel very blessed.
Yeah, and you and your hubby are super cute. Love the bushes.
Oh, thank you. I don't think he knows how to work YouTube on the big TV.
But he always watches. You know he there.
I'm kidding. He's watching somewhere. But yeah,
so that leaves you, Kathia.
So y'all want to know what I think?
Of course.
We do.
Of course.
So it's funny because they was like, as soon as I mentioned the question, everybody was like, y'all know Henry be here. He be in the comments hard.
Comments.
But I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. So we are coming up on 8 years. He said 8 of them this month. But yeah. And I'll say this. I think that like marriage is what you make it. I think like having a unit and that companionship and that like that partnership, it is a wonderful thing, and it makes you happy. It challenges you. It makes you cry. It makes you laugh. It's all of these different wonderful things. But when I think about the hype, what saddens me is when I see that when I see singles and young people so obsessed with it as if that is the only way. And I don't think that that is the only way. I think that you can have a very fulfilling life, whether you're in a relationship or not. And one of the things that stood out to me was, like, there was this debate that I saw, like, would you prefer to settle or die alone? And it's like, that's not what relationships and marriage are, or that's not what they should be. Wow. Like, right. And this thing of dying alone, like, honestly, and I'm just saying with Corey and Shalena, because y'all are singles, like, to me, y'all can never die alone, especially not with me being here. There's no way. And
be alone
forever.
Yeah, but people get that thing confused, and it's like the reality of it is that people are in relationships and feel very lonely. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like you really have to be careful about what it is that you're looking for and what it is that you would be willing to accept just because you want that particular thing. Like, that particular thing is great, but it has to be right.
For sure.
Like, that's the main takeaway for me. So yeah, so the co-host, let me see here. Y'all ain't tell us if y'all thought that marriage and relationships were worth the hype.
It's like they all sitting there like
they shouting.
Yes.
Well, a lot of people are shouting out kind of how long they've been in their relationship.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I see the shout outs.
You know, it's implied that it's worth the hype. They still thugging it out. She's about to marry the love of her life. Met him at 15. I remember when she left me to go be with him all the time every day after school. At least it's her soulmate. So it was worth it.
Derrick always said Kathia was his favorite friend of mine.
Oh, and I was gonna say, shout out to Nelson. He said it's worth it for us. And like Henry said, he mentioned about the Hurts paving the way. And I feel that way about them, and I feel that way about the Bushes too. It's just like you. I'm gonna hurt him anyway.
I can't with him.
But I feel like it's very important to have these like different connections and, you know, the other representation. So like if something does happen in the elevator, you have people that support you and love you enough to talk you off the cliff.
Mm-hmm. And I would also like to add, like, have your standards, don't settle. But at the same time, like the question that Kathia asked, do you want to settle or do you want to die alone? What if somebody that you thought was your forever person was asked that question? Like, how would that make you feel? Like if somebody was like, so about Jena, you gonna settle or you're gonna die alone? I'm sorry, what?
It doesn't even go together.
They don't even go together. Don't even make sense.
Like, no, like how are those two extremes like the only options? And nobody's perfect. So the things that you are not willing to bend for, you probably want somebody to bend for you on some things. So I go back to respect.
I wanted to say, Chris' comment, that was my thing too. Like, I think relationships overall, like friendship, marriage, familial, like they're very much so valuable, and you have to treasure all of them.
For sure.
Amy J said, hype, yes. Clout, no.
Good point.
No.
I would have to say, I think that's where I'm kind of sitting with it. I've never, when it comes to some things, I'm very traditional, but for a lot of things, I'm not. I'm a little alternative. And so I have never saw myself. I mean, I think I kind of knew at a young age, like, I don't want kids because I don't like kids when I was a kid. I didn't like kids when I was a kid. I knew that was
a good uncle, though. You make a
uncle.
You absolutely
no,
do.
But you don't forget a birthday. You come to graduations and church programs. You are an amazing support.
And you spend time, like, and that's very important.
But it's different when they're not yours. I'm the same way. I'm a psychologist. I love all the kids I work with. I love my nieces, my nephews, my god kids. But having a kid in my house 24/7, I don't know.
I'm good on that. I'm good on that. And I love all the kids.
Cool.
My kid 24/7. Yeah, no. So,
I said, mine is fine.
There's no guarantee.
My godbabies are fine. My nieces and nephews are great. Except for
I think that's what is at my core. I mean, Kathia alluded to it. I mean, I did see some rough marriages. I have an inside joke that I'll share with the team. I call Generation X one of the hardest, roughest generations around, especially when it comes to certain things. So when it comes to child raising, and I apologize if there's any Gen Xers in here, I sometimes think our 60s and 70s babies that ended up being parents of 80s and 90s kids, there could be some refining that could be there for that generation sometimes. So I'll say this.
Oh, I'm good. My mama was born in the 40s and 50s, so we're good. My parents are old.
Corey's on a whole nother conversation.
Right. And we see the time, and we're clearly coming up in time, so I'll keep this short. I think my point is, though, that I've never wanted to be in a situation. You hear the horror stories about finances. You see toxicity in marriages, and I will be honest. That does not mean I did not see the love and the connection and the moments when they're in the bed together, gossiping about their friends. Like I know, and this is talking about my own parents. I know that there could be love there, but I also have seen what it looks like for those things to break apart. And so maybe I wonder if I've always just been concerned about the aftermath. And knowing me, I look so far ahead sometimes that I think I get myself caught up in what the possibilities are. And I'm just like, I don't even need to deal with that. If we need to break up, we just break up and call it a day. So there are some other things in there, but I think at my core, though, I just do not, this whole rat race of getting married and having kids and doing all these different things. And if that's your choice, cool. If you're in love and you want to do that, cool. But the feel, I have had so many different male and female friends who have felt the need to do certain things based on certain timing and how their other friends were doing. And I just hated that for them, because it's like, I hate the clock ticking symptom. Like, I hate all of that. Live your life. And those little like Instagram things that come out about, starting a job at 43 and going back to school at 57 and doing all these different things, like, do that. Why does society say that we have to get married at this age, have kids at this, go to college, go do this, do that at these ages? And hell, by the time you're 40, you're supposed to have all your life done. And then nobody tells you what your life's supposed to look like at that. I'm looking forward to 40. I'm looking forward to effing some things up at 40. I'm going to have a good time. And I just don't think that my life should be crunched into 2 decades between the time that I don't know who I am at 20 to the time that I know myself a lot better at 40. I just don't believe in that.
That's important.
It is, absolutely. Let me see here. Yeah, Raina said live your life. And I think Raven was talking about the presentation. And I think that kind of goes back to the hype too. I do want to say this: the biological clock, it is a real thing for women and men. Like, it is a real thing. But I think the bigger thing is accepting that, life is going to throw us all different paths.
That's it. And it's okay if I miss age 32 to have kids. It's okay if I miss age 28 to get married. It's okay if I miss age 22 to get a bachelor's degree. Like, legitimately, those things are okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
You'll live fine. You'll live. You'll be fine.
To that point, I honestly feel like I know myself better. I know what I want better. I've created a life for myself that would make me a better partner and a better parent at this age than if I would have done it when a lot of my friends did it. Like, I just wasn't in that space. I just don't think I could have been the best partner and parent I could be at 28 as I may be, now. So yeah, like you said, everybody paths look different, take a different turn.
Yeah, that is very true. I find that even when I think about parenting, I'm like, the parent I would have been in my 20s, what was she thinking?
Yeah, the way I feel is if you're doing what makes you happy, you're not hurting anybody. You're doing something. You're doing everything right.
Big facts.
Just do what makes you happy, and if it's not at the expense of somebody else, you're doing it right. Work it out. Have fun. Prepare yourself. Experience.
Where's his vocal cords?
I'm trying to get it together. I was skipping a little bit. I'm trying to get it right.
I'm trying to give you some time.
Well, that brings me to our Somebody Loves You, because we have so many different relationship gurus. Everybody can tell you how to do it. Everybody can tell you how to do it right. Everybody can tell you what you're doing wrong. So before I get into that, I'm going to go ahead and let Corey Boone bless us with his vocals. How you going to do it for us today?
So, by the way, Shalena had posted that she was going to do the Usher challenge. So I'm holding you to that, by the way, right? Like, I'm holding you to that.
You know that's out of my range. You know there was just a joke.
It's out of my range too, so no worries.
You know I'm a control, so I can't sing that. Come on.
Somebody loves you, baby. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Somebody loves you, baby. And you know who it is. Somebody loves you, baby. All right. Yes.
So we getting it. Run it back.
Sorry, Channing just wanted to be on the show for a second.
I saw.
Yes.
So sorry. He's going to have on a better outfit next time.
That's nothing, right? Well, today's Somebody Loves You is Derrick Jaxn. As one of the co-hosts had already brought him up. I can't even remember why at this point.
Somebody asked me last week, please tell me y'all are talking about him on Thursday. Somebody said, please. And I was like, if it's still news, maybe.
Oh, we're getting the aw. Somebody said, oh, son, Jena, he is too cute.
Thank you. He looks just like his father.
So does mine. It's okay.
It's okay.
You owning that now. I'm glad, Katie.
Yeah, Carrie is all Henry.
No,
well,
and she's perfect. But when that smile comes through, that is all Kathia.
I would agree with that. But she got Henry.
No, yeah, she's perfect, obviously. But that smile, whew, that's K all day.
Okay.
Thanks, y'all. Well, Derrick Jaxn, I'm gonna say this about Derrick Jaxn. Miss Jackson, Jackson Herb. I'm sorry, these comments are funny. Anyway, so y'all know Derrick Jaxn is. Does he call himself the love guru? I feel like somebody said that. Anyway, but he does a lot of these videos, telling women like what they should prepare for, what they should do, how they should be wives. He gives a lot of warning signs, like things that they should look out for when they're dating. And he just has a lot of advice on relationships. So Derrick Jaxn, he's not our Somebody Loves You today because he's right or wrong. And honestly, I don't even think, he's a relationship guru. Thank you. Our statisticians or fact checkers checked in. But yeah, he's I'm not saying that he's necessarily wrong, but the reason why he's here is because if you want to sit here and be on a platform where you are telling other people how to live their lives, there is an expectation of you. To whom much is given, much is required. And I think that Derrick Jaxn, he failed horribly. And I guess I should catch people up. So for those who don't know, he does these videos and it came out that he was cheating on his wife. And the thing is that he has spent years building up this following to where he has never even shown his wife. He lets people know very little about his relationship. And then recently things come out about him cheating on his wife. And for me, I'll say this, it's not even that he did it. It's always about how you handle it. And I think what's disappointing is that for him to be a relationship guru or expert, I feel like that was something that he should have shared versus it having to come out. And then in true, I guess, narcissist fashion, it's like now you cheat on your wife and you want to tell us one part of the story. First is just you were having this conversation with this girl and there wasn't anything sexually involved. And then more comes out about you. And then after that, you have to come and tell us, oh, well, actually, I've been cheating throughout my entire marriage. And then you bring your wife on this huge platform where you've been hiding her for years.
She looked like she'd been in hiding.
Yeah, and then you bring her on this huge platform after you've done what you've done. And you kind of use this to fix these situations. It's like, it's too late. It's too late.
I didn't mean to make everybody laugh. I mean, but be real with me, be real with yourself. In the words of Dr. Heard. Like, that girl, I'm telling y'all, I watch a lot of true crime shows, documentaries, you name it, I've watched it. Okay? That is a snapped episode waiting to happen. She is lining up the cards and getting everybody, getting her house in order. And that man is either going to go missing or be found. You heard it here.
Yeah.
When the FBI is ready to hire me, I'm available for another job.
No,
I can't tell you where he is, but I can tell you that he's gone.
He bashed men, especially black men. Can we spend 5 minutes discussing this? I gotta go.
He
I know
does.
you can read that part.
Mary for years, cheating for years, baby on the way.
You know,
That damn Usher versus.
Teresa, good question.
that's okay. So Teresa, thank you so much. You discussed what I wanted to talk about. So it's I'm going to shoot a video in my car right outside of my mistress's house for me.
You.
Are you kidding? Like, literally does reaction videos or relationship videos in the car right outside of the home of the person that he's sleeping with. Like, I just don't understand.
Yeah, and I think for those of you who have followed this, I see a lot of people chiming in. So y'all are hip to what's going on. I think what was sad to me is that if you look at his wife's page, like, she's had a lot of trauma. And so for you all to go through these things in your relationship and then decide that this is the time to pull her out on your platform, I feel like that was very much so careless. And I'm gonna have to go with my sister on this. You know, it's like you spent all of this time. You had all of the great relationship advice by yourself. All of the great relationship advice.
You bashed men, you bashed women, you made women feel this big. You made people think that black men won't ish. Like, you really.
And black women were stupid.
Black women were stupid, that they were weak, that black men can't be trusted, like that he's not into you, sis. Like, you made very declarative statements with a very big platform on a regular basis and made money off of this. Because you got a blue check. Like, you really went in, and I guess those who can't do preach, I don't know. But all I know is what he did, not only to his wife, but to the community, just in general, anybody that follows him. Like, I watch videos of women being like, so you told me that I was weak. You told me that I was insecure and that my husband had every right to call me out because I didn't have any right going through his phone. Well, I found out he was cheating and I left him. So is your wife weak? Is your wife this? Is your wife the same things you call me? So you did a lot of damage to a lot of people, not just your wife. She's taken the most abuse, but sir, young man, like, just gracefully bow out and find another profession. Like, I don't know if you need an alias to write self-help books or whatever, but something, no. No, no. And watch your back, because your wife, she's got your number. If she knows she should.
What kills me with these people are that they create these professions, as Jenna referred to it as, and they have these platforms and this influence. And I'm like, where's the credibility for y'all to be preaching and spewing out all this stuff? I just don't understand how they gain these followings. And not that you need a PhD in psychology to do this type
when you have one.
But it helps. There's research and there's data and there's theories to support just understanding human behavior and how relationships work. And these people who come out just preaching based on their own experience, only for us to learn that their personal life is a mess. I just don't understand how we as a people continue to get sucked in. And, you know, Black folks in particular, we will run with these social media celebrities and relationship gurus and YouTube stars before we go to experts to get help for things that people are literally trained and have expertise in treating and helping you navigate. I just don't understand how people get caught up in this hype again and again. And then these people disappoint us. So
in this case, this is not worth that hype. Like the relationship with your social media therapist that has never spoken to you before is not worth the hype.
Because full of hard.
No, and that speaks to these people will literally, they'll say different things and have you feeling guilty and unworthy and second guessing your decisions and what you want to do. And it's just like their lives are a complete mess. Like, and I'm gonna say it here, we gotta stop following these weirdos. Kevin Samuels, whoever else.
She's got their numbers.
I'm just saying.
And it's not just relationship people, it's business people.
Oh,
yeah. Yes, that too.
It's business people with a whole lot of following and a whole lot of comments and a whole lot of popularity that have some fixing to do.
If you need to pay your bills with that stimulus check, that's okay.
I was thinking about that stimmy advice too.
Listen, like, please stop telling people to take their $1,400 and put into an investing that you can get $1 million tomorrow. Investments do not happen that fast. It takes time.
I've heard something about like millennials, they don't even invest anymore. Like they're all about the quick return. Like they don't invest in their retirement. They want their whole paychecks. Like they don't even bother. But like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency comes in and they're like, ooh.
There is something to that, honestly, and it actually freaks me out. I need to learn more about investing, but I just can't go there. But beyond, exactly to you all's point, like we gotta be careful about who we start. Rena is so right. Like sincerely, they come out with this BS. It's like they will tell you from A to Z what you need to do with your money. And steady are asking you to pay them for advice or go to this conference or go to this webinar or whatever.
My book is half off.
Yeah.
Which is really trash, because didn't he talk about the fact that his book was off in a reaction video to his apology video with his wife? Like,
yeah,
here, just want to let you know my book is half off. Like,
I can't.
That he wrote, not that they wrote.
Right.
It's something. It's like healing together, but it's again his voice, his perspective. But go on.
I don't need her to say much though, because she's going through some things. You know, silence is a therapist too.
But these are people of faith, so you know my question is always: are we putting them on the prayer list? Do we want healing for Derrick Jaxn and Mrs. Jaxn?
Yes,
definitely for Mrs.
Yes,
Jaxn.
Definitely for Mrs.
Jaxn.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely for Mrs. Jaxn. Yeah.
I think he needs some healing too, because all of this speaks to an insecurity. And an inadequacy within himself that rather than be quiet about it and work on it on his own, he is projecting the things that he fears within himself onto strangers.
Come on, psychology.
And I didn't even get my PhD. I just know how to read.
Right, okay? And you got good plans.
But doesn't he also talk about narcissists and he himself is a how
to spell it?
I think how he handled this whole situation shows that he's a narcissist, and I think that's the unfortunate part. Like, I just feel like there should have been a lot more compassion, a lot more grace, just for your wife having to deal with the brunt of the embarrassment from what has happened, and for him to expose her in that way, especially seeing all of the different trauma that she has shared. It's just, love protects. And
hard.
Yeah, that ain't.
That's very true.
Protection.
That's very true.
Yeah. Wow. Has there been any latest developments? Because obviously we found out that, he is having a baby. Is there anything else beyond? Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody was pregnant, but I think
well, he hasn't said anything since that came out.
Everywhere where they traditionally not supposed to.
Where everybody's supposed to be socially distancing.
Martell got a baby on the way outside of his marriage. The Married at First Sight boy had a baby on the way. After he married a stranger, and then a couple weeks ago, the baby she had miscarriage. So child, that's a lot of babies. What Dr. Jackie said, the babies didn't know that there was a pandemic.
She did say that. She
a lot of babies. Not here, obviously, but no.
Not here either. We're a family of 3.
Hashtag one and done.
Just reminding us.
But anyway, this is the part of the show we're at Are You That Somebody, where we have to shout out dope people doing dope things. And our resident Philly Joan has a special someone for us today.
Yes. Philly is in the building. We are highlighting my favorite baby cousin, Alea, aka Lele, who is going to be 18 years old next week. I cannot believe it. She graduated from high school this year, and within the last year started her own business, Rich with Nothing. I got my sweatsuit. And the whole premise behind Rich with Nothing is that being rich doesn't need to necessarily consist of having wealth or money, but you can be wealthy through other things that you find fulfilling. And I just think it's so dope to be so young and to already kind of understand that it's not all about money. So she has a lot of different apparel. You can follow her Instagram page. I think we're going to have her handle up here. And if you go to her Instagram page, there's a link in the bio to her website where you can order some of her apparel and just support her, repost, share her website and her page with folks. She has discount codes. That was a nice surprise. When you go to her website, there's some discount codes to get you a little off your first purchase. And yeah, I just am so proud of her and just sticking with this. And she plans to continue to study after high school and learn more about business and just really take off with this. So I just can't wait to see what you do, Lay. And I hope people will support her. And happy birthday next week, Lay.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
That's a big one.
That's beautiful.
All right, y'all. Well, that's been another episode of Somebody Said TV. And I have to let y'all know that next week will be our last episode of the season finale. So we do plan on coming back. But for our next episode, we do want to do like a Throwback Thursday kind of thing. So we want to hear from you all. Let us know like your favorite moments from Somebody Said TV over the past year. And we would love to have some of you as a special guest. So if y'all would be interested in doing a little pop-up, hit us up on the gram, or if y'all got our numbers, let us know so we can go ahead and put this final show together.
Please.
Yes. We definitely have to have the co-hosts to stop by on our last episode.
Be ready, be camera ready, pull up.
Yeah, drop us a video with some questions about past episodes, past topics. If things got a little heated, if things, left unresolved and we had to keep it moving, like you want to bring it back up, like a Brandy and Monica battle or something like that, we want to talk about it again.
Our last episode is going to be on April 15th, that Thursday, for the season. So, yeah, let us know. We're going to share some of our favorite moments and just happy to share with you all some of the coming togethers of Somebody Said TV. And, yeah, just have a good time. Listen, here we go with this Breezy and Usher next.
Yeah, your symbols back.
Us, Crit.
Pink. You know, we Team Breezy. Let's get it. Let's rehash it.
I mean, it is the battle only 5 people saw.
Oh, y'all want that smoke? Always.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, we love having you, Crit. Thank you for stopping by.
Absolutely. I'm not giving this Breezy Usher anymore. What happened to respect your elders? Where is it? Where is it at? Okay.
I mean, Breezy got hits. What did Shalena say?
Doesn't matter.
Usher has nuclear bombs. Like that's an untouchable catalog. Yeah. I'm
okay, never mind. I
got some things to talk about next week.
I promised myself to never enter the Chris Breezy.
No, we did not tirade. We did not, girl. We did not.
Yes,
I thought we did.
Right. Allegedly, there was a time when I left when they recounted votes.
No, when you were there, you couldn't count. That's all.
Well, Jay was taking the score, and I trust Jay. Relationship goals. Herx, what's up?
No, we all messed up that count for obvious reasons. But somebody said one of the judges. Y'all are hating, but listen, had you been on the count, you would have gotten to leave, you know, at your time that you needed to reach your next destination.
I ain't in it.
This is true.
So here's the issue with this. We can't rematch. So we can't redo this experience.
We had a small group of close family and friends voting, but I think if we threw it out to our SSTV audience, our followers, I think it would be clear. I think
maybe in between topics on our last episode, we could just throw out one round or 2 or 3 or 4, like best.
I was gonna say, if y'all want to know what our official like Usher versus Breezy battle was and chimed in, we could definitely do that with y'all. I don't know, maybe that could be a special episode because we do want to pop up here and there. So
it will pop up here and there.
Here and there. Somebody said they need a break. But
I'm always ready.
But yeah, so just let us know. Anything else before we out, guys?
Love y'all. Hope y'all have a great weekend.
Seriously, please enjoy tomorrow.
Celebrate. Happy Good Friday and Happy Easter if you celebrate.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, make sure y'all. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. I said all the things. I was just co-signing.
All right, y'all. Well, make sure y'all turn into our last episode on April 15th. Love you all. Good night.
Good night.